Welcome to our workshop about attachment styles today. Today we want to work on attachment styles and how it affects our life, our adult relationships, and how we connect with people. I would suggest you to grab a notebook and have a pen because there's gonna be questions that I'm gonna ask you throughout the lecture and you can reflect while you're learning these attachment styles. Attachment theory was developed by John Bowlby. He introduced this theory when he witnessed how infant-caregiver relationship works. He proposed the idea that our relationship with our primary caregiver, our own mothers, will dictate our future relationships and how we connect with other people in our adulthood. Now, there's also a strange situation experiment. It was conducted by Mary Ainsworth, and in this experiment, she observed how infants responded to their primary caregiver, and some babies showed signs of security, some babies showed signs of avoidance, some babies showed anxiousness, and some babies reacted in a mixed way. Based on that observation, she came up with these 4 attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. So let's see how different attachment shows themselves in people. When you have a secure attachment, you probably have received consistent responsive care from your mom or your primary caregiver. When you have an anxious attachment, you had inconsistent or dismissive care that caused you to feel anxious when communicating and relating to others. And when you had emotionally distant or rejecting care, you probably will have avoidant attachment. And when you were in a household of unpredictable care, you will end up having a disorganized attachment. Attachment styles are like varying relationship glasses. For example, with secure attachment, you wear the secure glasses, you see people as safe and trustworthy, and with insecure attachment, you see people in different ways. Anxious glasses will give you uncertainty and instability. Avoidant glasses blur intimacy. You just want to avoid people because you think there's going to be pain involved with getting close to people. And disorganized glasses has the mix of allure with danger. So you want to get close to people, but in the same time, you want to run away from them. And this usually gives you lots of push and pull in your relationships. Let's talk about secure attachment in detail. So, secure attachment develops from consistently responsive caregivers. The secure person will think with themselves that my needs will be met and I will be supported. Now, obviously, they know that there is exceptions for that rule, but as a general rule in their mind, they feel secure when they get close to others. They feel comfortable with closeness and independence. They have this inner belief that things will be okay. They also regulate their emotions effectively. So, how attachment works is that it affects every area of life, and not only romantic relationships. It affects friendships. We find out that it also affects how we work and how we pursue a hobby or goal. Let's have a quick reflection. Remember a moment of feeling truly safe and supported in a relationship. Find a person in your life that you felt you were secure with them. And it doesn't have to be your parents, it doesn't have to be your partner, it could be any of your family members, it could be one of your friends, it could be even one of your teachers. And we really need this reference person as an example of secure attachment. We want to always remember this security and then compare other relationships with that secure relationship. Now let's talk about anxious attachment. In anxious attachment, caregivers are inconsistent and the child learns that I must cling and protest to be seen. In their relationships, they worry about rejection and abandonment. They need constant closeness and reassurance. They are hypervigilant for signs of distance. So basically, they don't want to be far from you. And they are usually perceived as clingy due to fear of being left. Now, here is a time for reflection. When I feel insecure in a relationship, what is my go to reaction? Do I reach out repeatedly, withdraw, to protect myself, or something else? Please pause the video now and reflect on these questions because awareness is always the first step to heal yourself. Let's talk about avoidant attachment in detail. Avoidant attachment stems from childhood experiences with emotionally unavailable caregivers. And the children with avoidant attachment have the belief that it's safer not to need anyone. As adults, they value extreme independence, they feel uneasy with closeness, they struggle to express their emotions or needs, and they withdraw when relationships become intimate. So let's do a quick reflection and ask yourself, when relationships deepen, what fears surface? Do you worry about losing freedom, being smothered, or not knowing how to respond? Do you create distance when closeness intensifies? So please pause the video again and answer these questions. Let's talk about the fourth attachment style, which is disorganized attachment. This attachment stems from trauma or frightening caregiving. The caregiver is both a source of comfort and fear. As adults, people with disorganized attachment may crave intimacy but also fear it, and it will lead to a push-pull dynamic. Let's reflect a little bit about this attachment as well. Ask yourself, what is it like to want love and fear it at the same time? Where do you feel the push and pull in your body? Pause the video and answer these questions. So here is the summary of these attachment styles. A secure person, for example, say that I miss you today. Can we talk about our plans for the weekend? So they're basically treating you in a secure way when something happens or when you avoid them or something like that. Anxious people say, you seem distant. Are you losing interest in me? Please tell me what's wrong. And sometimes they don't actually verbalize these worries, but they have these thoughts in their mind. Avoidant people say, I need more space. It's not about you. I just need time alone. Sometimes they don't even verbalize this and they just distance themselves from you. Disorganized people say, I love you so much, but don't come any closer. Actually, don't leave me. So they give you mixed signals. Now let's talk about how we can heal insecure attachment styles, the most important part of this workshop. I just want you to remember that healing attachment styles are not like fixing yourselves because you're not broken. These were patterns that were actually good for you at some time. You survived with them, and as babies, you've done the best thing you could do. Now, as an adult, it's not helpful for you anymore. So don't judge yourself, don't punish yourself. Try to learn a new attachment style just like the way you would learn a new language. We're going to have 6 pathways to do this process. The first one is awareness and self-reflection. The next is inner child work. The third is self-regulation skills. The fourth is communication and boundaries. The fifth is healthy relationship practices. And the sixth is professional support. The first pathway is awareness and self-reflection. Just like everything else, awareness is the first step. You can't really change what you don't notice. So that's why we wanted to identify which attachment style we have. Now, there are techniques that help you to be more aware. Journaling, therapy sessions, self-reflection, meditations, these are all the things that help you to gain more awareness of your patterns. Here is a journaling exercise for self-awareness. Take a few minutes to reflect on these questions in your journal. What are your earliest memories of feeling safe or unsafe in relationships? What patterns in your adult relationships connect to these early experiences? When do you feel most triggered in relationships, and what specific situations activate your attachment system? What beliefs about yourself and others emerge when you feel insecure? How might you respond differently if you were feeling more secure? Pause the video please and answer these questions. Pathway 2 is inner child work. Now, most people cannot do inner child work themselves. They need therapy sessions so that a counselor can guide them through this process. But for people who have experienced with meditation or therapy sessions in the past, they might be able to do some inner child work. And here is the example inner child visualization exercise. You can pause the video and actually practice this visualization exercise. The pathway 3 is self-regulation skills. Attachment triggers activate the autonomic nervous system, which is leading to fight, flight, or freeze responses. So we have to learn to regulate our nervous system in order to manage our emotions and improve our relationships. Basically, the more we feel secure and calm in our body, the better way we can respond to external situations. There are some tools like deep breathing, grounding exercises, body scans, mindfulness meditation, and CBT tools that you can use. Here is a simple breathing exercise that you can use for regulating yourself. Use this breathing technique to calm your nervous system whenever you feel triggered in your relationships. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 6 seconds, and then repeat this several times. There is also grounding exercise for attachment triggers. Whenever you are triggered in your relationships, you can try this grounding technique. It helps you to feel better and safer in the moment, but it doesn't solve the issue that you have in your relationships. The first step is to notice 5 objects in your environment. And then feel 4 different textures. Then listen for 3 distinct sounds. Then notice 2 scents in your environment. And then become aware of 1 taste. Pathway 4 is communication and boundaries. So, for us to have healthy relationships, we need to set boundaries, we need to assert our needs, we need to say no when we need to say no, and we need to argue in a healthy way with our partner or with other people in our life. And these are all techniques that you can practice. Just remember that usually it takes a long time for develop these new habits. Here is a communication exercise that you can practice with yourself or with your friend. I would suggest you to find a person who you are very secure with, you're very comfortable with, and practice these exercises together. The pathway 5 is healthy relationship practices. The best thing that can help you more than everything else is to actually have a secure relationship. Now, the problem with people with insecure attachment styles is that they are usually not attracted to healthy partners. So, usually they don't have this opportunity to practice this healthy kind of attachment. But what they can do is to seek therapy and build that secure relationship with their therapist. And over time, because they learn new attachment, they can also generalize that and use that in their own life as well as therapy sessions. Now, you want to be able to recognize secure attachment versus insecure attachment. There is a consistent reliability in secure relationship. There is respect for boundaries, open communication, emotional availability, which means your partner is available for you emotionally and physically. And when you have fights, there will be repair after conflict, and also there will be a balance of give and take. And here are some signs of insecure relationships. They are unpredictable, there is boundary violations, there is poor communication, emotional unavailability, unresolved conflicts, and imbalance of give and take. And pathway 6 is professional support. Therapy can help you heal your attachment styles. especially for trauma related insecure attachments. There are many approaches that therapists use to heal your attachment style, but most of therapists are using integrative approach, which is the mix of different approaches. Most of them are based on long-term therapies because you need to learn this attachment style, this secure attachment style, just like you can learn a new language. Once again, I want to remind you that healing attachment styles takes time and the progress is not going to be linear. So expect setbacks and breakthroughs. Old patterns may resurface at any time. This is a normal part of the process. And always have self compassion for yourself. Here is the last exercise for our workshop. Reflect on what you have learned. Write one key insight about attachment that you have learned in this workshop. Then identify your attachment style and its relationship impact. Choose one accessible healing pathway. Note one specific step for secure attachment this week. Please pick something really easy and simple to start with, and then schedule this step in your calendar to make sure you will do it. Here is final encouragement for you. Your attachment style is a survival strategy, not a flaw. So honor it and know that with awareness, practice, and compassion, you can learn new and secure ways of connecting. Thank you for joining this workshop. I hope it gave you valuable insights, tools, and hope. If this was helpful, please consider sharing it with others and leave comments if you have any question or concerns.